They look kind of cute, right? What are they? Well, bugs, like the ones inside of us, microbes. Of course, the ones inside of us are a lot smaller than these guys. But there are lots of them. Something like, 30 to 50 trillion of these living in our body. And, it used to be thought that they're just kind of bystanders. They're on our skin, they're in our digestive tract, they're in our saliva. And it used to be thought that they don't do very much. But collectively, they are referred to as the microbiome. And we are learning a lot about our microbiome. It actually interacts with our body. There are some of these guys that, when properly stimulated by having the right food, will secrete chemicals that actually can reduce inflammation in the body. And many of the chronic diseases that we hear about today are thought to be due to chronic low-grade inflammation. How do we do this? How do we stimulate the good guys to produce these beneficial substances? Well, one way is to feed them what they like to eat, which is lots of fiber. And what is fiber? That's the stuff we get, for example, in vegetables. We get it in all kinds of vegetables, and we get it in fruit. Yeah, tomato is a fruit, believe it or not. And there are all kinds of studies now showing that the more fiber we get, whether it's from fruits or vegetables or whether it's from whole grains, they are going to stimulate specific microbes in our body to produce these so-called short-chain fatty acids, which can calm down inflammation. There are other things that we are learning about the microbiome as well. It may even affect the brain. Now, this mostly we learned from studies in mice. And, that's a little bit different than humans. We're really not mice. But there are some interesting studies that have been done on mice. For example, they become less depressed when they are fed certain bacteria, like the ones that you find in yogurt. How do you know if a mouse is depressed or not? Well, there's a test known as the forced swim test. You put the poor animal into a container of water and force it to swim and see how long it is before he gives up hope. And judging the time that it takes for him to give up hope, that is thought to be somehow related to whether or not he's depressed. And if you give him some lactobacilli, like the ones you get in yogurt, they tend to swim around longer. They don't give up. They're less depressed. Well, again, said, that's with mice, and mice really aren't men. But in any case, it is very interesting to think about the relationship between the microbiome and our body, and about feeding them with some nice veggies.